Hey everybody, this is Mrs. Schultz and I am making a video to describe this upcoming unit, the Community Research Project, Making a Difference unit. And the reason I'm doing this is just because we have an interesting week this week with spring break, and then the English department has some teacher meetings this week, so I am not going to be meeting with you in person. So I wanted to make sure that everyone was clear on the upcoming project. I'm really excited about this project, and I hope that after getting a little more information from me today, you'll be excited about it too. So what I'm planning to do, this video will be pretty short. Some of you, if you were in my Tuesday session last week, have a little idea about what it's going to look like, but hopefully this will clarify some things for anyone else. So essentially it's broken up into days, and every day you will be completing a few different tasks related to this project. So the first day, which is hopefully the day you're watching this video, Tuesday, April 6th, is the day where you'll be introduced to the project. I'm planning to cover it in about 13 days. That may change slightly depending on testing schedule, because some of you I know will be going out to MCA testing most likely next week, so we may be having to push the due date out a little bit, but we'll kind of play that by ear. So throughout the next 13 or so days, you'll be researching a social or environmental issue in your community, and you'll also be exploring how local organizations or individuals in your community are working to help or solve or improve that particular issue. And then at the end, you'll find something to do, and it doesn't have to be like anything huge or anything like that. You'll do something about the issue yourself. Maybe volunteering, maybe writing letters. There's a whole bunch of different approaches that you can take. So today's lesson, if you click on the lesson, there is a project guideline document, which will pretty much give you a lot of information about it, as well as suggestions for possible topics. So I won't go into the details of all the possible topics today in this video, but this week, if you have ideas, feel free to email or Skype me so that I can take a look at your ideas and give you some feedback on them. They can be related to the environment. They can be related to poverty in your community, possibly education in your community, maybe things like addiction. It could be related to maybe like you're noticing a neighbor or two are lonely. Maybe they've been pretty isolated during the pandemic. So it could be on a really basic individual level, or it could be bigger. It could be that you're planning to organize a food drive, or maybe start writing letters to people in nursing homes, that kind of thing. So you can kind of think about what areas of interest you have and what you feel like your community needs the most. So the first step after you read the project guidelines will be to decide on a town or community that you want to explore, and that may very well be your own community or a local community where you spend a lot of time. The next step is to think about what issue or concern you would like to focus on. And then if you have any questions in day one, please reach out to me. I'm working. When you're watching this, I will be working, but I am just going to be in meetings, so I can certainly get back to you. So that's day one. Day 2 and 3, which will be on Wednesday and Thursday of this week, you'll be asked to plan out your project. So these days, you'll be solidifying your plans. You'll be filling out a project planning document, outlining your project and research plans. Day 3, so that would be on Thursday, is the day where I'd like you to turn in that project planning document. So you can download that and fill it out. Keep in mind that you may need to do a little advanced preparation if you intend to conduct interviews. That depends on your subject. Maybe you might want to go on site and take some photographs or videos. You could visit a local organization safely, of course. Think about ways you can safely volunteer and help out in your community. So by no means am I asking you to go in a situation where you've been quarantined for a while and then go into a situation you're not comfortable. That's all about your comfort level and what you feel would be most useful and safe that you can do in your community. You can begin your research at any time, the sooner the better, and then visit me in targeted sessions or Skype me if you need help. So that's days 2 and 3. Friday, And Friday of this week, Monday of next week are research days. So make sure that you figure out what type of research you would like to do. A lot of it's probably going to be possible online. You might email people. You could research some of the issues in general. So like if you're focusing on maybe like mental health during the pandemic, a lot of your research may be available. You could do some research on mental health and pandemic related anxiety or depression, things like that. You can do research about that independently, just kind of like as a whole topic, but then I want you to kind of narrow it down to identify some of the things in your own community. So you can read through this. The slide is also provided in the lesson. And then Works Cited page will be required, and there's a guideline or guide for that later in the unit, but make sure that you're bookmarking your research sites or making note of those sources so that they're easy to find when you need to cite them. Days 6 and 7 is when you're going to be volunteering in your community in some form. So on these days in the lesson, you will see some examples of things you can do where you don't even have to leave your house, or maybe you'll just do, it could be something where it's like non-contact. You could volunteer to pick up some trash in your community, or you could volunteer to tutor a child over Zoom, that kind of thing. Your contribution does not have to be fancy. It doesn't need to cost money. It doesn't have to be particularly time consuming. It could be something relatively small. You could also do something like make flyers. You could, like I said before, write letters. You could contribute some sort of, try to cheer people up with a little gift of some sort. There's tons of different options. Let's see here. Okay. Next one, you'll compile your project throughout days 8 to 10, and you'll compile it in the form of a PowerPoint. So make sure that you're using your research, adding your text, graphics, pictures, videos, music links, any other information you would feel is useful to make your project visually appealing, and then come to targeted sessions if you need help. Day 11, there's some more information on Works Cited. I won't go over that now. And then the last part of the project is where you're going to create a little Flipgrid recording, and I don't have this all planned out yet. I will give you more information on this later this week or early next week, but you'll be invited to Flipgrid, and then I'll ask you to make a short video describing what you did to help in your community. So it doesn't have to be very long. You can just share. Maybe there's some sort of like artifact or something you made that you can show in the video, and I'll give you more information about that. So that is pretty much all I have to tell you today about the project. I hope that this helped explain it, and I can't wait to hear some of your ideas and eventually see your projects. Reach out if you have questions, and have a great week.